Welcome back to Hezra's Hide. Working on the latest Day at the Range Summertime Challenge. And this is the Captain America Challenge. Now, as I'm getting ready to shoot this, boy, he made this a lot harder. It was if you cut the blue and half of it was in there, you got it. Now you got to get it entirely inside the blue. And if you shoot this target, you go over to dayattherange.com and you can download this and print it yourself for free. You're going to realize how hard of a challenge that is to hit that exactly in that center. It's pretty small. It's a little bigger than the bullet diameter, which is fortunate, but it's still pretty small. And so that's what you got to do to get up to the maximum 100 points, but 5 maximum per target. So today we're going to use our CZ457 with our lilja custom barrel here, match grade barrel, and it is really coming to life. This gun, since I figured out all the issues with the chassis system, particularly this aluminum mag well, which I'm not sure if I explained it real well before, but I put an aluminum mag well option into this thing. And it seemed like it was tight up against the action because it goes into the bottom of the chassis and up against the action there to hold everything rigid and tight, and then you torque your bolt. So it's sandwiched almost like a washer in between the head of the bolt and your action. And it torqued up, right? So I went to 45 inch-pounds on this. In fact, at one time I was at 60. But 45 here, and now in fact it's 35 on both. Kind of playing with that because it can adjust the harmonic a little bit and change a little bit of your groups. But anyway, even at 45 inch-pounds before, everything torqued up just fine. But when I took the whole thing apart and started looking in there, I realized that is not okay. It was at a slight angle and you could see a gap, and it's still, because of the tight fit inside of this KRG chassis, it could kind of get cocked a little bit and bind up, and then it would torque up and not be fully home. So I fixed that, and all of a sudden the gun comes to life, and I start getting grooves more like you'd expect from the CZ and the lilja and the Timney trigger and the KRG Bravo chassis kind of combination, right? It's really starting to shoot well. So anyway, today, once that's figured out, right, we're going to go shoot Day at the Range's target. We're going to use Eley Tenex and Lapua Midas Plus. I might throw a few others out there. In fact, we're going to use Center X to foul for this one, and we'll use probably some Eley Club to foul for that one. Trying to waste so much because these are really expensive. This is roughly, I think, with shipping about $22 a box. This is almost $25 a box, this Midas Plus, shipped to my door. And so, yeah, that's tough to take. It better shoot good. I've never shot it before or in this rifle. So I've never shot it at all, but especially not in this rifle. The Eley 10X, once I get this torque figured out, and well, that bottom metal figured out, it's been, unfortunately, this gun loves it. And so that's fine. You got to feed it the good stuff when it needs it. It shoots other ammunition really well, but boy, I tell you what, 10X has been showing up and doing its part. So anyway, let's go hit the range and see what we do. It's going to be a really hot day out there today. 95 degrees plus, they're saying, but the wind's calm. Humidity, unfortunately, is very high, over 80%. So it's going to be a rough one out there, but we're going to go out and see what we can do. All right, welcome back in from the range, and in fact, the second day. So I went out on a Friday evening when I told you it was 95, really high humidity, and shot, and I had all kinds of camera issues. It was driving me crazy, and I didn't even know it till the range session was done. What had happened was the target cam was on a tripod, and the top of the tripod was extended. And, you know, I'm getting set up, I get the camera set up, I look in the viewfinder on the camera, everything's good. I go back to the bench, and that thing had creeped down, and it cut off the top of the targets. And so the top row of the targets, all you're going to see is these bottom rows. And I apologize for that. These are truly from those, and I'll show you which days are from which, but these are for that. But you do have the bench video to sort of go with that. Unfortunately, and I'll cut those short because you don't want to sit there and watch 16 shots that are up here, and all you see me is firing. So I'll cut that part short. By the time you see this, I'll have already done that. You'll see the result of that. But the second day I go out there on a Saturday evening, and it's just as hot and oppressive. You know, the thing is, the winds were down. So that's cool. It's just, man, that can be brutal, at least on an old guy like me. And so I get everything set up. I make sure the target cam is on target, working good, it's recording, so we have that video. And then I get going, and the bench camera showing me shooting shut down from the heat. And I was so focused on the shooting that I didn't even notice. So I threw all this, I'm doing all this commentary, you know, rambling on, it can happen, and none of it recorded. And I had my brother sitting beside me, and it's like he's listening, he's pausing his shooting so I can do my talking into a camera that wasn't even on. And normally there's a blue light that flashes on this camera, but it was in an angle I couldn't see it anyway. And man, but at least we have the live targets going. So I'll have a static image or something of me sitting there, but you'll see the bullets impacting the target. So I'm sorry, this is like amateur hour on the video recording in this heat and all the issues I had, but we'll get that straightened out. Because this month, I think he said this is going to go for 3 months. And so I'll do this challenge again. But in the meantime, I've shot a lot here. I've shot a lot and spent a lot of money on ammo. So I'm going to stop for a little while. And I have another 110-yard target contest to work on coming up, the Hyde. And if you don't know the Hyde, check out the Hyde, not Hasbro's Hyde, the Hyde. He's the original on there. And Steve, and check out his channel. He's got a really good channel. But he's got an invitational 110-yard competition coming up for 22 rimfire. And so that's what I got to focus on the next few weeks, getting ready for that at 110 yards. So let's take a look at some of these results here. Now, this happens to be day 2 targets. Okay, so you'll see this, and this is Midas Plus. Okay, so this is the 24.5 plus $1 a box ammo, 77 out of 100. Okay, I won't even bother showing this, but this is just not good. I mean, in this gun, this is not good. And it was not consistent. I kept working with it, but that was a fairly typical score. Here's another one I shot where I got a little bit better, and I got a 79. Okay, so this is a little better. There's 2 5s in this target, so that's good. But it would still throw flyers. And this one I thought was another 5, but I plugged it. It was a 4. So, I mean, okay, not terrible. But for $24.5 a box, it's terrible. Okay, so that's that. And that was on the second day. And then I shot Eley Tenex after that. And so I fouled it with Eley Club and then shot this. And it probably wasn't perfectly fouled, but again, it didn't do bad. I don't think, I didn't get any X's on here, but it was consistently throwing 4s. So if you threw all these into a group, that's probably a 0.3 inch group. And that's more or less about where I've had it down to 0.2 with this lot, but you know, it's consistently 0.3 or so inch groups, and that's pretty good. At Eley 10X then 81 on that one. But that's not as good as it did, and I'll show you here. So this is from day 1 when the top targets are getting cut off, and unfortunately, the good ammo I shot at the top targets, naturally. So this is Midas Plus, and it got an 80. Okay, so it kind of backs up the other one. It was shooting a little more consistently here. But I still got an occasional flyer. But again, this is pretty good. This is right, I would say, close to on par with Eley 10X. The problem is I've shot now almost 80 rounds of this ammunition at this point to get this target. because I finished with this on the first day, and I came back to it on the target you saw on the second day. So, you know, 77 to 80 points. It shoots good, there's no doubt, but it's more expensive than Tenex. So I don't see the reason for it yet in this rifle, right? Again, rimfire is very sensitive to the rifle. So that's Midas Plus. Here's the second Midas Plus, and sort of backs up the same trend, a 77. I'm not even, this target and some of those others aren't going to get turned in, because this one, I think I was having heat stroke. It was so hot. I shot, and I believe this was the first one. And so I shot through the mags, and I got to here and shot it again. It's like, you idiot. You know, I had a bullet hole here, so I had to load up and shoot again. And that made me short on one round, so I had to shoot center X, which dropped it down, so it's not as high a velocity. So that's why 77 is probably more like a 78, 79, something in that range without shooting at center X. I got another 5 again, but you know, it's good. I don't want to say it's not good. It's good ammunition, but when it's more expensive than another one that shoots a little better, that's hard for me to do. But I'm going to keep trying it. I got a brick of it. I'm going to keep trying it, and we'll see how this gun does with it. And I got 2 other rifles to run it through. All right, so this is our Tenex final target here. And this is from day one. So unfortunately, the camera had slid down and it cut off the top target. So you're going to go see these bottom ones being shot live. But it shot really well. Okay, so it was the second target. I shot 2 targets of Tenex and 10 fallow rounds, and then 20 and 20. And so you start to see here the difference between Tenex and Midas Plus in this rifle and this barrel. So it's shooting really consistently, cutting the blue, cutting the blue. It's almost always cutting the blue. And so if this was the old scoring, we'd be talking like, you know, a 98, or no, 97, I think. Yeah, 97 there. But under Elijah's new rules now, you have to be totally inside the blue. So only this one, this one, this one, and this one are completely inside the blue. And so that's fine. It's a good, tough challenge that way. So if you do this column then, and I get 21 here, 21 there, 20, and 22, because I got 2 5s there in that one. Nothing worse than a 4 on the target. So this is really good. The Tenex is doing its job. The lilja barrel is awesome, although it likes the expensive ammo so far. I mean, honestly, it shoots other ammo well. It's just when you're trying to shoot these little teeny dots for 20 in a row, yeah, you're going to need some really good ammo to hit that many. So anyway, I'll turn this one in for my first score. The contest, like I said, goes on for I think he said 3 months. So we'll definitely be shooting it again. I got to focus on that 110-yard challenge I told you coming up in 2 weeks. But pretty fun. So hopefully you like this. Go out and shoot this target. You got plenty of time. I'm probably going to go out and shoot it with CCI standard velocity and some of the cheaper ammos and just see how good I can score with a budget ammo in that gun. We'll get the custom Ruger 1022 out. We'll get the Feddersen barreled 1022 out as well in the next few weeks and shoot this challenge again to see how good we can do with the other guns. So hopefully you like this. If you do, give me a like and subscribe, and head over to dayattherange.com. Check out Elijah's contest here. He just makes some great ones, and this one's going to be a lot of fun.